It looks so great. Why? Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Rashi Hamalio and I want to review for you Urban Decay Stay Naked Liquid Foundation. I have been dying to try out this foundation for some time now. I never got around to it. So finally, it is here. Now I didn't purchase the foundation, I actually got samples. And I got quite a few samples because trying to figure out a shade in this range was not easy. I thought it would be straightforward, but I felt like every shade was just a little bit off. And I'll show you some shade comparisons very shortly so you can see that I don't exactly have a perfect match, but of course I have a couple of close matches that I can use. So let's get into the shade comparison, the demo, and then my final thoughts towards the end. By the way, if you want to know why I'm not doing a wear test today, you'll find out soon enough, so hang tight. So this is what 50WY looks like on me. This is shade 41 and obviously it's too light, so this is not the shade for me. And this is a neutral shade. Okay, this is 50 warm orange, and yeah, that is not the right shade for me either. Next is 50 CG. This definitely has those cool olive undertones. Now this one is 51 NW. Okay, this is probably the closest match so far. Now this is 51 WY. That is right next to that. 51 WY. This is not a bad shade as well. And so just for comparison, I do want to swatch my Dior foundation. So I'm just going to add that right underneath. And this is my Dior. So you can straight away see actually Dior is such a good match for me. This is in the shade 3 Olive. So far, the two shades that I quite like in Urban Decay that are similar to Dior, NW. So we've got 51 NW, which is this one here, and then 51 WY. Now WY definitely has more yellow undertones, so I'm leaning towards this one, but I could really wear either of these. This is a little bit more neutral. For today, I'm gonna go with 51 WY, which is this shade right here. Okay, so going in with 51 WY, I'm just going to dot this around my face. And WY is supposed to be yellow undertones, warm yellow. So this shade I think is a pretty good match for me. Okay, so I'm not applying too much, but I've got a decent amount. This is normally how I would apply my foundation. Okay, so now I'm just using foundation brush just to blend this in. And it blends quite easily. I don't have to struggle to blend this foundation. Let's see how this is going to look on my forehead. So I'm just not bad at all. I did use a physical exfoliant this morning, but it's not like my patch was gone. My dry patch is still there. But this foundation doesn't cling to my dry patch too much, which is great. Very similar to how Dior performs in terms of clinging to dry patches. Very a small amount, nothing major. Now I'm really happy with this, how this foundation blends. It blends beautifully, it blends easily. It really hasn't clung to my dry patches, which is great. The shade isn't too bad either. Like if you compare to my chest, I think the shade is pretty good. Now just looking at my pimple pigmentation here, you can see them through. I could probably build this up a little bit more, so let's just try that. Normally I would leave it at this. I don't like putting any more foundation than what's on my face right now. But for the purposes of this video, I am just going to build this foundation up just to see what we get. So it builds nicely. It's not going patchy or anything like that. Yep, that think it blended really well. Okay, coming in super up close. Now I've toned down my lighting just so you can see my skin texture and see how this foundation actually looks on my skin. Some forehead. Hey guys, I am back with a full face and this is what the foundation looks like. Again, today I've got it on a little bit more heavy than I normally would, but it works because I've got a bit of a dramatic eye going on. Now let's get into the review. First of all, I want to mention why I'm not doing a wear test today. It's because I actually wore this foundation for a full 8 hours and it gave me irritation. No! Yeah, I was disappointed because you saw it. The foundation applies beautifully. It looks great on the skin. I really like how this foundation looks and wow, why did it have to give me irritation? I don't understand. So I have tried this foundation out a few times and if I'm wearing it for say about 4 hours, I'm fine. It doesn't give me any irritation. If I leave it on my face for longer than that, say about 8 hours, then my skin doesn't do so well. So I'm really disappointed that it's a foundation I really can't use regularly, but I really like how it looks. So that's the reason why I'm not doing a wear test, because I just don't want to put my skin through that. Now, the good things about this foundation, the color match is pretty good for me. So this one is 51WY. What do you guys think? I think this looks really nice. So shade is a tick. Application was really seamless. I always really apply foundations with my Hourglass foundation brush, and this was very, very easy to blend, very easy to smooth out. It didn't look patchy. It also didn't really cling to my dry patches. It also looks very skin-like, and I love that about this foundation, especially if you apply it from light to medium coverage. If you really try and build that coverage, you're going to get the coverage, but you will lose that skin-like finish. And when I apply it semi-medium coverage, I really can't tell this foundation on my face. You can see every little bit of texture, and yet my skin looks better and smoother and just nice. I'm quite impressed. It's called a Naked Foundation and I can see why. It also lasts a long time. So again, I have worn this foundation for up to 9 hours and it stayed put on my face. It also didn't oxidize. I mean, most foundations will fade a little bit, will generally get a little bit darker during the day, and I had that with this foundation, but nothing major. It also held up pretty well in my oily areas. I did get oily and I did block my face, but you know, that's pretty normal with most foundations. So just coming in close, I've got my lights pretty dim, and now you can see what my skin looks like with this foundation on. It looks really nice. I really like it. Foundation looks beautiful on the skin. It applied really well. It looks so great. Why? Anyways, I went and looked at the ingredient list for this foundation because I wanted to see what is it in this foundation that is giving me irritation. So looking at the ingredient list, what worries me is that the foundation has denatured alcohol as the 4th ingredient at the top.
Say what?
Yeah, 4th. That is quite high for alcohol, and I don't know if it's the alcohol that gave me irritation or if it was something else in the foundation. It is a possibility it could have been another ingredient or it was the alcohol. I can't know for sure. I have tried other foundations before that had alcohol and I have never really seen the same reaction. By the way, the irritation that I got was actually this raised reddish bumps that came right here and then right here close to my forehead. It was really weird. I haven't experienced that before. So I've actually been pretty afraid to use this foundation for longer than 4 hours. So my final thoughts. I've got the sample. Will I buy it? I don't know. Honestly, I love how this looks on the skin. It looks really beautiful and I do want to buy this foundation. Probably will wait on it for a little bit. I'm not gonna run and get it. I will finish my sample off and then I will purchase it maybe on a sale. That's not a bad idea. Overall, I have enjoyed wearing this foundation, minus the irritation. So I think you guys that are considering this foundation, if you can get a sample and try it out, that's the best. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have other foundation requests for me to do, I will be coming up with drugstore foundations as well. So please do let me know in the comment box below. And don't forget to subscribe. Come on. If you've been watching my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing with your life? Come on. Well, I'll catch you guys in my next video. See ya.